Shruti or pitch. This is literally the most important thing about music, right? Without Shruti, music will not sound like music. It will just sound like we are speaking. Shruti is literally the main thing that differentiates speaking from singing. So as a singer, it is not enough if we just keep learning a lot of songs and a lot of ragas. We also need to put that dedicated effort to improve our sense of Shruti, so that whatever we sing will sound really beautiful and melodious. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 3 important tips by which you can really strengthen your sense of Shruti and you can see that visible improvement in your singing. I'm Pratibha Sarathy and you're watching VoxGuru's YouTube series. If you enjoy our videos, please do subscribe to this channel right away and don't miss out on any of our exciting updates. Now the first important tip I will give you, especially when you are in the early stages of learning, is always practice with a reference audio. Now usually as a beginner, we will not know the difference between correct pitch and wrong pitch. Our ears are not yet trained to recognize that. So only our teacher can tell us whether we are singing correctly or not, right? Now in the class, the teacher will be there, so she can correct us immediately when we are making a mistake. But when we come back home to practice, the teacher is not going to be there, right? So who will tell us whether we are singing correctly or not? How will we even know it? So the best way to practice is keep your teacher's reference audio by your side, sing along with the audio and check whether your voice is completely gelling with the teacher's audio. So I will show you an example how you can check whether you are singing correctly or not with the teacher's reference. Let's say for example, this is the reference audio.
Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa.
Now I am going to sing along with this. Now if I am singing correctly, then you will hear a completely blended set of voices like this.
Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa.
So it is completely gelling with each other, right? We are not hearing 2 different sounds. But suppose I sing some notes wrongly, then it will sound like this.
Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa.
So do you see the difference here? You can clearly hear 2 different voices, right? My teacher's voice is separate and my voice is separate. So that means I am making a mistake in my Shruti or in my pitch. So even as a beginner, when you are practicing with the reference recording, you can very much hear and understand that your voice is not exactly gelling with the reference. You may not know exactly what mistake you have made, okay, but you will know that something is not right. You will know that I am not gelling with the reference. And then you can keep trying again and again, keep singing with the reference until you find that perfect alignment. So this is the best way for you to practice meaningfully at home, because if you just sing independently by yourself, you will never know when you are making a mistake and when you are singing correctly. So at least in the initial years of your learning, this reference recording is a very, very important tool for your practice. So that is why in VoxGuru, every single course of our live curriculum contains neatly recorded reference audios. So each and every activity that you do in class, we will give you a pure audio recording of that particular activity or that particular lesson. Because when you are at home, that recording is going to be your teacher. That is going to be your guide to tell you whether you are deviating or not. The second important point is what I call microscopic correction. Now this is something that starts in the classroom itself. Now when a student is singing a particular exercise, the teacher has to correct it at a very, very minute level. Now some teachers, they correct only the major mistakes. So for example, instead of singing sa, if the student is singing sa, that is a huge mistake, right? It is a huge difference in the pitch. So such mistakes they will correct. But suppose instead of singing sa, the student is singing
Sa.
That is just slightly off, right? That's not a huge difference. But the thing with pitch is, it is either perfect or it is not right. There is nothing in between. So it has to be on that perfect note. Even if it is slightly off, it is going to sound off. So your teacher literally has to listen as if she is using a microscope, and she has to identify all these small Shruti mistakes also. Because when you are singing a long exercise, not every note will go out of pitch, right? Suddenly in between there will be that one note which goes out of pitch, and then quickly you will align yourself again. So your teacher has to be really alert, really sharp and really quick in identifying that one note that went wrong. Now the third most important aspect is always practice with the Tanpura. Now this sounds very basic, it sounds very obvious, but many of us miss doing this on a regular basis. Because when I say practice with the Tanpura, I don't mean just switching on the Tanpura and singing. I mean you have to closely engage with the sound of the Tanpura. You have to remember how each note feels against the Tanpura. So for example, let's say I am singing the root note Sa. Okay, so if I am singing
Sa,
I need to feel that sense of harmony with the Tanpura. I need to remember how the correct Sa feels with the Tanpura. So that tomorrow, suppose I make a mistake. Let's say I sing Sa slightly higher, like
Sa.
Immediately my body should react. It should tell me that, hey, no, this is not how you're supposed to feel when you sing Sa. You're supposed to feel more harmonious. So you have to bring it down a little more. So only if I sing
Sa,
only then my system should say, okay, this is correct, right? So we need to develop that intuitive sense of Shruti with each and every note. Similarly, if I am singing, say, a note like Ga,
Ga.
so I have to memorize what that Ga feels like. I have to remember that sensation. I have to remember that position. So that if I make a small mistake tomorrow, my body reacts and says, no, the Ga that you sang earlier was slightly lower than this. So make it a habit to closely engage with the Tanpura and remember the sensation of each and every note. Hope you enjoyed this video and will follow these tips in your daily practice. If you want to improve your Shruti in a very practical manner and with step-by-step guidance from a teacher, please join VoxGuru's live Carnatic curriculum. So we have a very structured program which is organized in the form of grades, and in each grade we have very clear milestones for you to achieve, and no matter which level you may be at, we will always keep focusing on improving your sense of Shruti. So even if you make a small mistake in Shruti, immediately it will be pointed out so that you can keep practicing and correct it. So don't miss this opportunity to kickstart a very systematic and a fun journey through music. So all you have to do is drop us a WhatsApp message. I have shared the link in the description. So say hi and we will reach out to you and we will discuss all about our programs. We'll understand your requirements and we will suggest what is the right level for you to start from. So I'll be eagerly waiting to hear from you. And also if you are looking for some self-learning contents in music, please head to the VoxGuru app. This is available both on Android and iOS. So here you will find plenty of self-learning courses in Carnatic music, voice culture, ear training, and a lot more. So go ahead, enjoy the app, and I'll be waiting for that WhatsApp message. Let's kickstart your musical journey together.